Welcome to the second episode of Art of the Week. Today we're going to talk about the painting Impression, Sunrise by Claude Monet. It was painted in 1872 and is an oil on canvas and has the dimensions of 48 centimeters by 63 centimeters. First we're going to talk a bit about the history of the painting and then about the painting itself. In 1874, the painting was exhibited at an exposé in Paris, which was later known as the first exhibition of the Impressionists. Claude Monet was asked to give a name for his painting, and he said something like this: "It's not a painting of a sunrise, it's an impression." In this exposé, many nowadays famous Impressionists exhibited their work. For example, on the left, Pierre-Auguste Renoir, and on the right, Camille Pissarro, and of course Monet. But the exhibition has not found much resonance among the population and art critics. Many bad reviews have been published, as well as this caricature, which translates to Exhibition of the Impressionists, a revolution in art that begins with horror. Louis Leroy described Monet's painting with the following words: "Wallpaper in its embryonic state is more finished than this seascape." There have been also occasional positive reviews, such that of the art critic Jules Antoine Castagnari, which appeared in the newspaper Le Siècle, and is for me my favorite way to describe and define Impressionism. If we want to characterize them with a word that explains them, we will have to forge the new term Impressionist. They are Impressionist in the sense that they portray not the landscape, but the sensation produced by the landscape. The word itself is passed on in their language. It is not landscape, it is impression that Mr. Monet's sunrise is called in the catalogue. In this way, they leave reality and enter into full idealism. When we look at the painting, we see several of the characteristics of Impressionism, such as the absence of contours, as these are already a step too far in pure perception and impression. In the water, one also sees the typical strokes that do not completely cover the canvas and give some brightness to the still dark and dirty looking water on which fishing boats lie, some detailed, some only vaguely hinted at. What surely strikes you first is the core of the painting, the sun, which is not created by the brightness but through the use of complementary colors. This can be visualized in a nice fashion by converting the painting into a black and white image. Dr. Margaret Livingstone deducted that most mammals can't see the sun in this painting. Many scientists made further research in this painting and found a good agreement with the physical Rayleigh scattering of the sun. And it was even found out what the most likeliest time and date of the origin of this painting was, via tracking the times of the tides and the luminosity of the sun. It was deducted that the piece was painted on the 30th November 1872, 7:35 in the morning. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and we will see us next week.